Hey, when I grow up, I want to be a donut. Happy TDOV, that is Trans Day of Visibility, to all my furry friends out there. As time has gone on, I feel like I've kind of grown into my aesthetic, so to speak, and I like to think that I toggle between a stan user and we have 𝗂𝗁𝗀𝗀𝘀 at home. I feel like that's what I'm going for. That's the fucking goal. It's pretty comfortable. Absolutely, yes. For this video, I had been doing a good deal of thinking. I do a lot of thinking when I'm in the bathtub, and I tried to do a video early this week, and it was just not working out because I couldn't concentrate. And I've done a little bit more thinking about it, so hopefully it'll be a bit more coherent because the shit was a fucking mess, y'all. It was a mess. So I feel like over time, things like depression, PTSD, borderline personality disorder, just mental health ailments have been kind of normalized, and it's kind of odd to see people like. I mean, I get wanting to be in vogue, but depression has kind of become like a fucking meme, and I mean, humor is like the best way to confront, long-lasting traumas. It's really helpful for a lot of people. I won't say it's the best way. It's the best way for me, at least. It helps a lot of people to, kind of confront these demons that they're being bombarded by on a daily basis, to kind of poke fun at them. And y'all have seen me, while I am fairly depressed. I have psychotic depression, which pretty much just means I'm depressed out of my fucking mind. Um, but one of the major parts of it is that I have pretty much baseline depression. So me on a regular day, I'm depressed as fuck. And I think that's something that is difficult for some people to understand, that like it kind of feels like it's a choice, and I should be feeling fucking bad. Like, why would I fucking choose to feel like this? And I mean, definitely my behaviors can contribute to the shit being worse, but it's mostly chemical imbalance. There's something fucking wrong with something that's going on in my brain. Some synapses are not firing correctly. It's just fucking chemicals. It's just a really difficult thing to tackle for a lot of people, and psychotic depression for me hasn't been great. But y'all have seen me when I'm having a particularly rough go of it. When I have like weird episodes of I don't know, like this weird dissociative, like overstimulated, like I have like a series of like ailments that I go through, and you've seen a few of them, but you've also been present for some of my more just chronic stints of depression, where I'm just run down and just, soul crushingly, butthole clenchingly depressed. And that's probably what's more of a problem for me, than, hearing voices and all that kind of shit. It's more the just every day of it is really what wears you down. But yeah, I don't choose to be miserable. But in depression, there is a lot of self abuse. And it's not necessarily born of this need to continue feeling miserable. It's not, wanting to continue this cycle of feeling horrible all the time, because it's familiar. It's more nuanced than that, unfortunately. There's kind of a middleman. It's not an equation that's as easy as, 1 + 1 = 2. There's some parentheses in that bitch. We gotta do some fucking PEMDAS to, you know, solve the equation of our depression. For me, there's this middleman, and his name is worthlessness. And it's the worthlessness that causes me to deprive myself of the things that I need in order to thrive. It's the feeling that I don't deserve healthcare. I don't deserve food. I don't deserve to feel happy. I don't deserve the people that are in my life. And so it's not as easy as thinking, I feel bad, so I'm going to continue doing these things that will make me feel bad because I want to be a fucking victim. That's not how it works. I feel bad because I feel fucking worthless, and probably it's in how I was raised. I was raised to be a perfectionist. My life is kind of mired in just this massive, just all-consuming experience of imposter syndrome. So yeah, that's probably where it's coming from. And you know, perfection is a fucking scam. It doesn't exist. And so when that is the goal, you never feel like you're doing well. And I mean, you always feel like shit. So it's kind of hard to deprogram that, and I've yet to be able to do it. Um, to be honest, because I can't I can't think of. I mean, it's really easy to, or perhaps maybe not. I don't know because I've never had to do it. It seems like it would be easier to push someone to, um, I don't know, like build their standards, um, do better. I can't imagine someone telling me like you need to do worse than what you're doing. That just doesn't make any fucking sense to me because perfection is the goal and it's a vicious cycle. And so yeah, I deprive myself of things. I have a lot of delusional thinking. I won't say they are full-blown delusions because in talking about delusions, there is this lack of insight that a person has. I have a fair amount of insight into all the delusional thoughts that I have, but they do have a fair amount of weight in my behavior and my decisions. And so it's not entirely like, there's this fucking bird squawking in my ear and I'm just ignoring it. I'm not actually ignoring it. It's actually affecting how I'm acting. It's just that it's not as bad. It's not as bad as somebody that has like a full-blown delusion that they are being carried away on. This delusion, these delusional thoughts, they're more like, I don't know, supplanted in my subconscious, and so my subconscious deeply believes in these things, and so my subconscious is very much attached to my emotions, to my experience as a person, but consciously I am aware that these delusional thoughts are not reflective of reality. But it's kind of difficult to kind of dissect that and separate your subconscious experience from your conscious experience. It's kind of difficult to do. And when the subconscious is, kind of taking over and causing me to freak the fuck out, have a panic attack and stuff, it's kind of hard to dial that back and fall back on your conscious experience and be in the moment rather than, not. But it's things like feeling like I am destitute. I have a delusional thought that is pretty supplanted in me that I feel like I have no money, I am destitute, I can't afford anything, and I shouldn't be spending money on anything. And that's something that's easily dispelled. It's very easy just to look at my bank account app and see that there is money there. And so that's a delusional thought that is, well, it's really in there. It's in there real good, but it's very easy. I have a lot of insight into that being untrue. And let me try to collect my thoughts because I'm not even talking about the thing that I wanted to talk about. So I've been talking about depression. I've been talking about delusional thoughts and depriving yourself of things and the things that you do while you are depressed. And I know what you're thinking. I know it seems like we're going into a negative Nancy spiral, but I think we can spin this because this is what I've been thinking about. So, do you ever have those times after like a particularly bad spell of depression, like just really just fucking took you the fuck out, and you start kind of venturing out of the fucking hovel that is your emotional experience to do things that seem pointless. They seem so infinitesimal, like so fucking small, so minute, so ridiculous. They seem ridiculous to do, but they are kind of tangentially connected to things that you have done in the past that have either brought you joy, brought you peace, brought you a feeling of accomplishment, fulfillment. Do you ever have those things? And like, think about it. Do you have like these weird little bullshit things that you do? Like, I don't know, buying a candy bar, or just looking at recipes, looking at puppies, looking, like, it's a lot of looking at things, I feel like. It's not a whole lot of action, and that's why it feels ridiculous, because you're like doing these little things that are kind of connected to things that you kind of like, maybe. These things, they actually kind of mean something. They kind of mean a lot. And I remember a few years back, I did was it an Instagram story? I think it was an Instagram story where I was just really fucking depressed. And I walked up to the store. And I went to, like, I think the Goodwill, and bought a swimsuit. Like, you know that you're depressed when you're like buying things in order to do things you know you're never gonna fucking do. Like, I'm going to go anywhere, like to the ocean to go swimming, or to the waterfall that I go to sometimes. I had bought it thinking, it's kind of fucking stupid that I bought this. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. When I was talking about being like a self-saboteur, and, doing all these pointless, stupid little bullshit things to maybe spark some kind of happiness for me, just get like, a little shot of serotonin, and the thought that maybe I'll go somewhere. I was, minimizing, I was trivializing, I was dismissing this thing that I was doing that is connected to something that I enjoy. And I think I really, was taking that for granted, because me going out to buy a swimsuit during a really bad depressive spell is kind of a manifestation of my subconscious trying very fucking hard to claw my way out of a depressive episode. That's what it is. And so it's actually kind of beautiful that despite how horrible things are, despite how bad I feel, despite not wanting to live, I still want to be happy. That's fucking wild, y'all. That's wild. It's like this little granule of hope. It's these little hopeful things that your subconscious kind of pushes you to do. And it isn't necessarily, big steps. It's real small, and so small, in fact, that you think that they're stupid. And they're not. They're not. Because despite it being small, a step is a step. And you're not where you were. And that's important to reflect upon. I would ask y'all to think about the silly little hopeful things that you do when you're in a bad spot. And why do you do them? What is it connected to? Where is it coming from? Because we spend a lot of time making fun of ourselves, trivializing our issues, trivializing our experiences, and not thinking about what exactly they mean. Well, it doesn't necessarily bring you joy. It brings you closer to it. And that's important, y'all. That's really important. Even though you're not at the place where you want to be, the fact that you're taking steps to get there is monumental. And I would just ask that you be patient with yourselves, because this shit is not easy by any means. And there's going to be some setbacks. There always are. And really, how much fulfillment is there in an accomplishment that you didn't have to work for? I mean, I feel like that's why so many rich people are depressed out of their fucking minds, because they have all these things all this wealth, and we're told that, you know, money can buy happiness, and it absolutely can. But if you're not in the position to be happy, all the money in the world is not gonna fucking help you. And so I think in kind of picking up these little granules of hope, we are trying to put ourselves in a position to be happy. Even if we're not happy, we still have the grain of hope that maybe one day we'll have it. And that shit's gonna be fucking lit. Yeah, I hope all y'all find a way to feel fulfilled, even if it's small, because it's so important. I don't really even have anything else to say. But I would like to know you guys' grains of hope. I would like to know the little hopeful things that you do, because I think it's important to reflect on that and to treasure it, because those are the things that tie you to happiness. Even if you feel like you've lost the thread, you can always find it. But it takes some time, and it takes some introspection. But yeah, I am going to bed. Happy TDOV, everybody. And, you know, I'll see you on the flip side.